Walk with me. Why do people smoke so much? Why do people drink so much? Why do people do drugs so much? Just hear me out. Yesterday I was having a conversation with my coworker about why it can be so hard to quit cigarettes, and she couldn't put it into words, so I helped her as a smoker myself. Is it because it narrows the world down to just you and the cigarette? And she goes, oh my god, that's exactly what it is, okay? Wait, just wait. And then I get home from work, and now it's 9:30 in the evening, and my mom just got home from work too. But she started at 9 a.m. And she goes, another long day. Now, mind you, she didn't work till 9 p.m. She worked until about 7 p.m., but with commuting, and it takes a long time to get home sometimes. And I looked at the time, and I go, how many days in a row are you going to say it's a long day? When can you recover? You never recover. That's why the days keep getting longer. But then my brain did something. My brain connected the conversation from my coworker from dinner time to the conversation with my mom and said, oh my god, that's it. People don't have time to recover, so they maximize that small time that they have. And sometimes it's not these things. Sometimes you get home from work and you start doom scrolling. That's not resting, that's not recovering. Sometimes you get home from work and you watch Netflix. That's not resting, that's not recovering. Right? But I thought to myself, how do you maximize 5 minutes? You have 5 minutes to rest and recover. You smoke. Why? Because it mimics breath work, deep breath. What does a deep breath do? Try it. You feel safe, you feel relief, because it tells your nervous system, biologically, it tells your nervous system, we're okay, we're safe, excuse me. But yes, like what I said, it narrows the world down. It's just you and the cigarette. No expectations, no acting, no nothing, no stress at all. Everything goes quiet, and you just get to... And of course, socially acceptable and cost efficient. It's the easiest way to say, hey, I need 5. You tell your boss at work, you tell your girlfriend's parents, you're at a restaurant, anywhere. Hey, went for a smoke. No one's going to say nothing to you because, hey, he's dependent on it. They'll talk behind your back. But it's socially accepted in a way where they let you take 5. And yes, it's cost efficient. If it wasn't, not that many people would be able to do it. Now, similarly, how do you maximize a few hours? And when I'm talking about a few hours, I'm talking about you have 5 to 6 hours on Friday night. Because Saturday, yes, people do it on Saturday too, but as you get older and you actually have to run errands, Saturday is not the same as Friday night. Okay, so you have 4 or 5 hours on a Friday night, maybe on a Saturday night. What are you going to do? You already know, man. You already know. You live it. Alcohol, it lowers your walls down, allows you to be more expressive. It's related to good times for those reasons, because everyone's stupid and just free and having fun, which I'm not hating, I'm just explaining. Of course, socially accepted. I know people that are 17 years old going into the clubs. Their parents they don't care anymore. People don't care anymore. Have a good time. You're young. Have fun. You're going to have to work one day anyway and die anyway. Cost efficient. Again, if it wasn't cost efficient, then why would people do it? Okay, so my brain made this connection last night, and I just felt like starstruck. I didn't know what to do with that information. And then the Bible app sent me a notification at 6:16 a.m. this morning, and I looked at my phone because I was up a little early today, and I write down the Bible quote of the day every day on my other whiteboard because I have another whiteboard, and it was Hebrews chapter 4 verse 9. Now, I was a little confused, and let me write it down for you so I can explain why. There remains then a Sabbath for the people of God. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 9. I apologize for my handwriting, honestly, but it's getting better from time to time, so just be patient with me. As we grow, my handwriting will improve. I'm looking at this at 6:16 in the morning. How can I find meaning in this? How can I explain this to another person? Because on TikTok I explain the Bible verse every single day. And it finally hit me 12 hours later as I got out of the shower. This is reminding me about yesterday's conversation and the importance of rest and recovery. But how can I rest and recover efficiently without feeling shame, without feeling guilt, without people being able to call me lazy and that affecting my mental health? Because rest isn't lazy, and recovery is not optional. So let me dive a little bit deeper in to explain to you what I found. So, faith, it grounds you. Now, what does that mean? It allows you to slow down and be happy and grateful with the life that you live today. You don't need to rush things anymore because you understand that God has a plan for you, and you cannot change God's plan. You can only walk God's plan. If you want to understand a little bit more about that, go read the book of Zacharias. They told you 500 years before Jesus died that it was going to happen, and how it was going to happen, and what Judas was going to do with the coins after it happened. You cannot change God's plan. You can only walk it. So slow down. You don't need more ashwagandha. You need less of your lifestyle, less rushing. If you start work at 8 o'clock, it's not a good idea to wake up at 7 if you have to drive there, if you have to take a poop, if you have to shower, if you have to eat, if you have to prepare your lunch. You're not giving yourself enough time. Maybe society doesn't allow you enough time. Change your life, change your routine, change your schedule, and start by getting closer to God. Because then you will not feel guilty, you will not feel ashamed for resting and recovering. Because rest allows reflection, and without reflection you can't change. And if you can't change, then nothing changes. It sounds very simple. It just randomly just clicked to me, and I'm like, this is very important information that I want you to know. But remember, if you don't do anything with information, it's completely useless. There's no piece of knowledge that isn't power, but power is in the action. I love you. I love dropping those lines. It allows you to rejuvenate. Remember, recovery isn't optional, because the world will force you to recover. You will be mentally or physically impaired if the world forces you to recover, because it could be through a physical injury, it could be through incredible mental strain that causes mental health problems. But if you choose to recover on your own, like for example, every Sunday, no screen time, no unnecessary screen time, that is. Of course, respond to your loved ones, or reach out, or check the score quickly. But no unnecessary screen time, no ridiculous thing. Just relax, reflect, prepare for the next week. Where can I be better? Where do I need to cut down? Where do I need to improve? Etc. And that just leads to long-term sustainability, long-term success. But remember, it all starts with faith, because faith allows you to rest and recover without guilt, without feeling lazy, without people or society making you feel like a bum. Because yes, it's so easy to say you don't care what people think about you, but if society's constantly pushing something on you, it's so hard to resist that. So again, I tell you that rest isn't lazy, recovery isn't optional, and faith allows you to do both without shame. You don't need more vices. You don't need cigarettes. You don't need alcohol. You don't need drugs. You don't need to go on your phone right after work. You don't need to watch Netflix right after work. You just need to plan and allow yourself time to rest, to reflect, to recover. And just like a slingshot, you pull back and you flourish and you boom. Christ is King. Let me remind you, Hebrews chapter 4, verse 9. There remains then a Sabbath for the people of the Lord. Have a great day. And move intentional, my brothers and sisters. Move with intent. Take care.